All right. Um, let's take a look at all these articles about AI for competitor analysis. Looks like you're really trying to uh, figure out how a small business, like yours, can use AI to kind of get ahead of the competition
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
without, getting lost in all that data.
Mm,
Smart thinking. Time is valuable.
absolutely.
And you pick some really good sources here. We've got the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Forbes, Marketing Alliance.
Real practical stuff.
Exactly, real
Right.
practical advice. So let's try to figure out what AI tools are really out there that can help you, and how they work, and what to watch out for.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first things first. Why is everyone making such a big deal about AI for competitor research?
Well, imagine you're trying to put together a puzzle, but you're doing it in a dark room.
Okay.
That's kind of what traditional competitor research is like. You're gathering information, but it's slow, you can miss things easily, and it's hard to get the whole picture. AI is like turning on the lights in that room. Suddenly you can see all the pieces, how they fit together, and what the final picture is going to look like.
So you can see the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Mm.
Okay, but can you give me like a real world example?
Yeah, of course. Let's say you're a small snack food company, going up against some really big companies and you're trying to figure out how to stand out.
Right.
AI can analyze thousands of customer reviews and social media posts about your competitors' products, in minutes, something that would take a human team weeks or even months to do.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and through that analysis, the AI might uncover something like, oh, people are constantly complaining about, the artificial flavors in your biggest competitor's
That's it
products,
all.
right? So that's a weakness, you can exploit. You can then focus on marketing your product as all natural, and address a specific customer pain point.
Oh, so it's not just about gathering information.
No.
It's about finding those hidden opportunities.
Right. It's about turning data into actionable insights.
Okay. So where does a small business even begin with all of this? Using AI for competitor analysis, it seems a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, well, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce article, they had a really good breakdown of 5 key areas where AI can really, really be helpful. And they even gave examples of tools for each.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, good place to start.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so first up, SEO and content strategy. So there are tools out there like SEMrush that can analyze a competitor's entire website.
Wow.
Like what keywords they're using, what kind of content is working well for them, even their backlinks.
So you can see what's working for them and like steal their secrets.
Well, not steal, but learn from them.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
You can see what keywords are driving traffic to their site, and then incorporate them into your own content. Or you could analyze their best performing blog posts and create something even better, to draw more customers to your site.
that's pretty smart. What else is there?
Okay. Next up, social media monitoring.
Okay.
This is where tools like BuzzSumo come in. They can track what your competitors are doing on social media, what they're posting, how often and how much engagement they're getting.
So you can see like what kind of posts people are actually, responding to and kind of try to replicate that.
Yeah. It's more than just replicating. It's about understanding the nuances.
Okay.
Like BuzzSumo can tell you not only what they're posting, but what's going viral in your whole industry. So you're not just copying, you're actually, staying ahead of the trends.
Staying ahead?
Yeah, you're keeping a finger on the pulse of what people are talking about.
Got
Okay, now the third one is product and service benchmarking.
it. Okay.
Tools like comparables.ai, they let you compare what you're offering to your competitors. What features they have, how they price their products, their customer reviews. It gives you the complete picture of how you measure up.
So if I'm running, let's say, like a small clothing boutique, I can see how my prices compare to the big chains.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's not just price. You can see, do they offer free shipping, what their return policy is, what kind of promotions they have going on. It gives you, again, that complete picture of where you stand.
This is starting to feel a lot less overwhelming.
Good.
Yeah. Like I got a whole team of analysts working for me.
That's the idea. Okay, so next we have sentiment analysis.
It's sentiment analysis.
Yeah, this is one of the most fascinating things AI can do.
Okay.
So tools like Brand24 can actually analyze customer feedback from online reviews and social media. And it can figure out how people really feel about your competitors.
So it's not just about what they're saying, but how they're saying it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Sentiment analysis can pick up on sarcasm, frustration, excitement, things that, a human analyst might miss.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
like having a mind reader on your team.
Okay. What's the last one?
Last but not least, technology and innovation scouting. This is where AI tools like Crunchbase come in. They can track startups, funding rounds, patent filings, industry news.
Wow.
They can help you identify emerging players and trends.
So you can see like who the up-and-comers are and what new technologies might disrupt your industry?
Precisely. Imagine you own a bookstore, and an AI tool could alert you to this, new startup that's developing some revolutionary e-reader.
Right.
That's something you'd want to know, right?
Yeah.
So you can adapt your strategy.
Like having an early warning system.
Exactly. Staying ahead of the competition.
Yeah.
Anticipating, what's next.
So I'm starting to see how powerful these tools can be, but I'm also curious about some real-world examples of how businesses are actually using this stuff.
Right.
You mentioned that Forbes article.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
So before we got sidetracked, we were talking about some real-world examples of how companies are using AI for competitor analysis.
Yes.
You mentioned the Forbes article had a few good ones.
It did. One that really stood out to me was about this automotive company.
Okay.
They were developing self-driving cars.
Oh, wow.
And they were in a really tight race with a competitor to get their technology out there.
So high stakes.
Very high stakes.
What do they do?
They used AI to analyze publicly available data, things like regulatory filings, engineering reports, even social media posts from the competitors' employees, just to kind of get a sense of how their rival's self-driving system was performing.
Wait, they could tell how well the cars were doing just from public information.
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah. The AI was able to kind of piece together all these seemingly unrelated bits of information.
Oh, wow.
And it uncovered some potential safety concerns.
Really?
With the competitor system. And that gave the company using the AI a huge advantage, right?
Right.
They could adjust their own development timeline. They could avoid potential pitfalls, maybe even get their product to market, sooner.
And safer.
And safer potentially. Yeah, that's strategic agility.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's not just about what your competitors are doing today, but like you said, anticipating what they might do tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
It's like having a crystal ball.
Kinda, yeah. The Forbes article also had another example about a software company.
Okay.
And they were using AI to analyze feedback on a competitor's app update.
Okay.
So they were able to, learn from their competitors' mistakes. Like what was frustrating users. And then make sure that their own app, didn't have those same issues.
That's a really smart way to go about it, learning from others' mistakes.
Exactly. And it highlights something really important. AI isn't just about finding your competitors' weaknesses.
Right.
It's also about understanding their strengths and learning from their successes.
So it's really about getting like a complete picture.
Yes.
Okay. But before we get too excited about all this, let's step back and talk about some of the, I guess, like mind-blowing things that AI can actually do.
Okay.
I mean, that Marketing Alliance article had some really interesting details.
Yeah, it did. Like the ability to automate tasks is incredible.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about like scheduling social media posts here.
Right.
Think about it. Let's say you need data from, dozens or maybe even hundreds of competitor websites.
Oh, wow.
Traditionally, someone would have to, go through each website manually, copy and paste information, compile it all into a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that sounds really, really tedious.
Very, very tedious. But AI can write code to automate that whole process.
Oh, really?
And you don't even have to know how to code yourself.
Okay.
There are AI tools that can do it for you.
Wow. So the AI is basically doing my job for me.
Not your whole job.
Okay.
But it can handle, the repetitive, time-consuming tasks. So you can focus on the more strategic stuff.
Okay. I like that. What else can AI do?
Okay, well, it's a master of data processing and summarization.
Okay.
Imagine you have to read through, a 200-page industry report. AI can do that in seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Pull out the key insights and even create a summary that's tailored to your specific needs.
That would save so much time.
Right. The Marketing Alliance article actually shared this story about Ben Hoffman.
Okay.
He's a senior CI manager at Adobe,
Mm-hmm.
and he had this 24-page transcript from a customer interview.
Oh, wow.
You know, the kind where you're trying to understand why a customer chose your competitor over you. It would take hours to read through that and analyze it, but an AI tool was able to pull out the key takeaways in minutes.
Really?
Saved him a ton of time.
That's amazing. So no more all-nighters trying to make sense of data.
Well, hopefully not.
Okay.
AI can also visualize data in a way that makes it easier to understand.
Uh-huh.
You know, take raw numbers and turn them into charts and graphs.
Okay.
Even interactive dashboards.
Okay.
You know, helps you spot patterns and trends that you might miss if you were just looking at a spreadsheet.
So it's like turning data into a story.
Exactly. It helps you see the narrative behind the numbers. And we haven't even talked about, you know, how deep sentiment analysis can go. It can tell you, you know, not just if people are feeling positive or negative, but what specific aspects they're reacting to.
So I could figure out, like, let's say what people love about my competitor's marketing campaign, or what's frustrating them about their customer service.
Exactly. And that kind of insight, you know, it can be incredibly valuable for shaping your own strategies.
Okay, I'm convinced. I mean, AI is pretty amazing.
It is.
But I'm also a little bit wary, like, is there a risk of becoming too reliant on these tools? You know, letting the AI do all the thinking for us?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's something that the Forbes article cautioned against.
Yeah.
AI should be seen as a partner, not a replacement for human judgment. You know, raw AI output always needs to be analyzed and interpreted by humans.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we still need to ask the right questions. We need to consider the context. And ultimately, we make the decisions.
So it's about finding that balance between human and artificial intelligence.
Exactly. Think of AI as your really smart research assistant.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
It can do the heavy lifting, but you're still the boss.
I like that. So what about strategic planning? You know, we've talked about gathering data and insights, but how can we actually use AI to develop strategies?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. Have you heard of Phil?
Hell, who's Phil?
Phil is IBISWorld's generative AI economist.
Oh.
It's a new tool that's designed to help businesses with strategic planning.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Tell me more about Phil.
Okay, so imagine you're preparing for, you know, a big meeting with a potential investor, and you need to have a solid understanding of your industry, you know, the competitive landscape,
Right.
your own strengths and weaknesses. Phil can help you do all of that.
Wow. So it's like having a personal consultant
Yeah.
who's an expert in my industry.
Yeah. Like Phil can analyze your company's performance data and tell you how you measure up against the competition.
Oh, wow.
You know, are you growing faster? Are your margins higher? You know, where do you have an edge?
That's incredibly valuable.
It is, and it can go, you know, even deeper. Like, let's say you run a small bakery, right?
Yep.
And you're competing against this big chain.
Okay.
Phil can analyze both businesses and highlight that, you know, while the chain might have wider reach, your customer loyalty scores are through the roof, and that's a key differentiator that you can leverage
Right.
in your marketing.
So it's helping you identify those hidden strengths that maybe you weren't even aware of.
Exactly. You know, Phil can also help you uncover potential risks and opportunities. Maybe there's you know, a new trend emerging that you need to be aware of, or maybe there's a gap in the market that you're perfectly positioned to fill. Phil can help you see those things.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like Phil can do just about anything.
Yeah, he's a powerful tool. But even with Phil, you know, it's crucial to remember those cautions we talked about earlier.
Right.
Human oversight, verification, you know, a healthy dose of critical thinking is always necessary.
Right. So AI should empower us, not replace our own thinking.
Exactly.
Okay, so with all these amazing tools, I mean, where do we even begin? This is a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's true. The AI landscape is vast, but the good news is you don't have to figure it all out, you know, at once.
Right.
Just start by, you know, identifying one or two areas where you think AI could really make a difference for your business.
Okay.
And then do some research Try out a few tools, see what works for you.
Yeah, that sounds like a good first step.
Yeah. And remember, AI is a journey, not a destination.
Hmm.
The technology is constantly evolving.
Right.
So stay curious, keep learning, don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah, it really is. And it's one that I'm really excited about. We've been talking about all these amazing AI tools and capabilities. I can't help but think about, what about the things we haven't even touched on yet?
Yeah, there's so much potential there.
Yeah. Like we've talked about analyzing websites,
Hmm.
social media, reviews, even financial data.
Right.
What about something less tangible, like
Hmm.
a competitor's company culture?
Oh, that's interesting. You're thinking outside the box.
Right.
Yeah, that's an area where AI could really shake things up.
Yeah, like imagine if AI could analyze employee reviews
Hmm.
from, Glassdoor,
Hmm.
news articles, company events, social media
All
posts.
that unstructured data.
Yeah, all that stuff that's just out there.
You could get some really, really good intel.
Yeah.
Like imagine being able to see patterns in employee sentiment,
Yeah.
identify potential cultural issues, or even predict if a competitor might be vulnerable to, talent poaching.
Oh, wow. That's like next level competitive intelligence.
Right. You could see their challenges before they even surface publicly.
Oh, okay.
Think about it. If you're, a tech startup and you see that a competitor's engineers are, constantly complaining about work-life balance on Glassdoor,
Right.
that's a perfect opportunity to target those engineers,
Wow.
with a message that emphasizes your company culture.
It's like having a secret weapon in the talent wars.
Exactly. It's about understanding not just, what your competitors are doing,
Right.
but who they are and how they operate.
It's like peeling back the layers of the onion.
Mm-hmm. As AI continues to evolve, who knows what other hidden insights we'll be able to uncover.
That is exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time.
Yeah, I understand that. With any powerful tool, there's always a sense of responsibility that comes with it.
That's true. And it's important to remember that AI should be used, ethically,
Of course.
responsibly. We need to be mindful of data privacy.
Mm-hmm.
We need to avoid bias and make sure that we're not using these tools to harm others.
AI should be used to level the playing field,
Right.
not to create unfair advantages or exploit vulnerabilities.
So what does all of this mean for someone like me, a small business owner, just kind of starting to explore this whole world? What are the key takeaways?
Well, I think first and foremost, don't be intimidated.
Mm,
AI might seem complex, but there are, tools and resources out there to make it accessible to everyone.
I think that's important to remember. Sometimes it feels like AI is only for the big companies, the ones with all the resources.
Yeah, but that's really not true.
Yeah.
And remember, AI is a tool, not a magic solution.
Right.
It can't replace your own strategic thinking,
Hmm.
but it can amplify it. So start by identifying, your goals. What are you trying to achieve?
Okay.
And then explore the tools that can, help you get there.
So don't just jump into the latest and greatest tech.
Right.
Figure out what problem you're actually trying to solve.
Exactly. And don't forget, this is an ongoing journey,
Right.
The AI landscape is constantly evolving. Mm-hmm. So stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to experiment.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like I've learned so much.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise. I think our listeners will walk away from this with a whole new perspective.
Yeah, I hope so. And remember, knowledge is power.
Very true. So until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and stay ahead of the curve.